during the 1950s, they wanted to spin 7-Up as more of a wholesome drink with a more pure image. So they started running ads like, "We have the youngest customers in the business." You can almost picture the room full of Mad Men-style businessmen in their suits smoking and saying, "Well, why wouldn't we give this drink to a baby? 11 months old, is it too young?" It's that kind of thinking that led us to recipes. Fresh up, familiar foods and party treats with the famous lively 7-Up flavour. This is a recipe booklet that they put out in 1956. You know 7-Up goes great with food. But why is it in quotes? What are they trying to imply here? I just don't get it myself. You know, it's like, goes great. It can only really feel negative when it's in quotes like that. And then down the page it says, "But popular 7-Up has other tempting uses." Why is the other italicized? Mr. 7-Up, what are you trying to tell me? Are there other tempting ways to use your drink? Because if this turns out to be one of those things where it's like a coffee enema, I'm out, I'm done. No more of this. So the booklet does have some punch recipes, which, you know, it's expected. It's a drink, it's a cookbook for a drink. Everything's above board. But then on the very next page, we jump 0 to 100. Ham based in 7-Up. Don't like ham? How about wild duck? Here's a tip. If you're going to call something delicious, don't also call it unusual. They don't generally mix. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a 1950s cookbook if it didn't have a gelatin recipe, and of course there's 4 recipes in this one. But what takes it to another level is their description of a delicious with any fruit salad dressing. Of course, made with 7-Up. Like pie? Why not put some 7-Up in the crust? Dried apricots too dry? Stew them up with some 7-Up. What takes the cake, literally, is the 7-Up cake with 7-Up icing. The kids' top food favourite flavour with the top drink flavour. I don't really get the logic there. Kids have lots of favourite flavours. You don't see us making a chicken nugget cake. But of course that's beside the point. Let's make ourselves a 7-Up cake. Their recipe says to make a cake with packet mix and replace any liquids with 7-Up. Now I did have to question myself here. Are eggs a liquid in this equation? For me, I don't think an eggless cake would turn out at all appetizing. So for this case, I'm going to consider eggs a solid because they did start out in their shell. So for the packet mix, the only liquid we're going to be replacing is half a cup of milk, which of course is now going to be half a cup of 7-Up. And then of course we beat it all together and then pour it into a tin and bake it as the box tells you to. Moving on to the 7-Up icing, you'll need a double boiler on the stovetop where we're going to combine 2 egg whites, 1 cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons full of 7-Up, and 1/4 of a tablespoon of cream of tartar. The cake rose far better than I thought it would have, given the fact it doesn't have any milk in it. And now I just need a good coating with our whipped icing. Now, what would be the perfect accompaniment for a 7-Up cake? A glass of 7-Up, you would think? No, they've got something much better in the booklet. 7-Up and milk. A 50-50 mix of each in a glass, they say makes a delicate flavour, making a delicious blended food drink. We'll start off with the cake, which didn't really take on any of the 7-Up flavour. There is a small hint of that lemon lime there, but the cake itself is still quite soft and moist, which is pleasing. The icing did get a bit more of that flavour on board, but it's still relatively subtle. The milk and 7-Up didn't really improve each other. They just watered down the milk and added bubbles to it, which isn't really something I'd recommend. So what did we learn? You can replace milk in a cake with 7-Up, but you shouldn't mix them together.